नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रीगणेशशारदागुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीशिवाय गुरवे नमः। सत्ववान शौर्यादिकं सत्वमस्येति सत्ववान. Shaurya means it's a gunam. So sattvam has got some 7 or 8 meanings. Sattvam means gunam. That is what Shankara writes. The first meaning, the very first meaning. So a quality, a good quality, a commendable attribute. What is that? He says, Shaurya Virya Adikam. Shaurya means courage. Viryam is valor. All this quality is called as Sattvam. Sattvam also means Dravyam, a substance, something nobody has, like Kaustubham. He has got it. It is a money which nobody has. Sattvam also means Vyavasayam, an endeavor. See, Mahabali was challenging all the gods. Everybody are keeping quiet and watching what will happen, what will happen. But he didn't keep quiet. He went and begged 3 steps and started walking over his head. So that is called endeavor. Do something about it. Because Bali was very dharmic, nobody couldn't do anything about it. Even Indra couldn't do anything because he was doing everything legally. So that is Vyavasaya. And then Swabhava. Your own Swabhava is called Sattvam. So all this Vishnu has got. Swabhava is Atma Bhava, his own Bhava, being himself. He doesn't want to turn into something else. He doesn't play any roles. He remains Vishnu. You are not like, morning you are somebody else, then you change your dress, you become something else. So that is because lack of Sattvam. So Sattvavan. The next one is Sattvikaha. There are 3 deities. Parameshwara comes as Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma. As Brahma, he takes the Rajoguna. He is Rajoguna Pradhana. Because he has to create. There is no creation without Rajoguna. So that is what Shankara writes. Sattve gune pradhanyena sthidaha. Pradhanyena means more importantly. So Shiva has tamogunam as pradhanyena because he is doing layam. In layam you don't need any other gunas. All you need is quietude, tamas, resolving everything. Because Vishnu's role is he is a sthitikarta, he is palanakarta. So pradhanyena, in order to maintain, you need to have the manual all the time ready. You have to be thinking and you have to be very knowledgeable. For that you have to be Shuddha Sattva. That is what Vishnu is. Always he stays in Sattva Guna. He cannot lower his wheel. He cannot do that. He has to be on the guard all the time. That is Vishnu. Sthitikarta, Palakaha, Pradhanyena, Sattva Gune Sthidaha. That's what he said. Sattva Gune Pradhanyena Sthidaha. It is Sattvikaha. The next one is Satyaha.
Can I ask? Why is, I think you mentioned this sometime before, why is Sattva Shuddha Sattva? Sattva by nature is Shuddha. There is no Shuddha
No,
Sattva.
all the gunas, they are always mixed up with others. Sattva guna is always mixed up with a little bit Rajoguna and Tamoguna. It is not always separated. You cannot separate them. They always come as entangled. Shuddha Sattvam is where there is no Rajogunam and Tamogunam. There is only Sattvagunam. That is called Shuddha Sattvam. Whenever you don't have a thought, you have it. It is between the bridge of thought, 2 thoughts. One thought ends and another begins. That moment you have Shuddha Sattvam.
Very weird.
Yeah. But that is called Shuddha Sattvam. There you don't have Rajas and Tamas. It is called Sandhya. That is when avatars come. That is why avatars are Shuddha Sattva. Avatars don't come in between. They send people. They will send other saints, and the avatars themselves, they come only in between Yuga Sandhya. When Kali Yuga is going to begin, Dwapara has ended. At that time, Krishna comes. That's why we are talking about him now. This is very useful. Just finished. We don't talk about Kalki unless you are in Madras. Kalki is after 43,000 years. And koi काम का नहीं है. We don't have any use. So he'll be useful for the next cycle. Then probably they'll talk about Kalki Puran, they'll be reading like this. But right now it is Bhagavata Purana. So Sandhya is that gap where the previous thought has ended and the next thought is going to start. That is where you get Shuddha Sattva in your day-to-day experience. So try to look into it and see whether you have any passion or you feel sleepy there.
Sushupti is not Shuddha Sattva.
Sushupti is Shuddha Tamas. Yeah, it is Shuddha Tamas. That is why you don't remember.
Nice try, Priya.
That is why you don't remember anything. You say, I slept very well, I enjoyed it. Why can't you say when you are doing it? Like you are sipping cup of coffee, wow, very good. You don't say that when you are sleeping. Because it is pure tamas.
On a day-to-day level, time between two thoughts for me is like, it is not Shuddha Sattva.
Yeah. No, that sound when you make, it is gone.
It is gone.
Yeah.
At that time it's gone.
Yes.
Okay.
But before you are making that sound, there is a moment when you pause. They try to hold on to it.
It's like when I'm talking and Sarmaji is listening, you will be in that mode till I finish.
So that is called Satvikaha.
I'm glad I wore this t-shirt today.
So when Sattvagunam is deliberately done, it is Shuddha Sattvam. When it comes activity or dullness or knowledge, sudden spark of wisdom, that is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So he deliberately stays in Sattva-guna always. Pradhanyena Satve Gune Tishtati. Iti Saha Satvikaha. When you get those bhava, they say you are Rajasic, you are Satvik. When they look at you and say, he looks very Satvik. Because that is done by the Prakriti upon you. And you claim it, I am Satvika. Then it becomes Rajasic. But Vishnu naturally he is in Sattva-guna always. Hence he is called as Satvikaha. The next one is Satyaha. Here he writes Satsu Sadhutvat. Satsu means Satpurusheshu. Satsu means Satpurusheshu. Who are Satpurushas? Veda Shastra Anusarena Vartamaneshu. People who follow Veda and Shastra for their conduct. They don't do anything without consulting Shastram. What is Shastram? Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam. That is Shastram, Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Evaha. Ego Mantras Tasya Namani Yani. Every day you tell one Nama. That is somebody's wife's name. If it is your wife, it's okay. You say hello, hello. Whose wife is that?
Girlfriend, not wife.
A girlfriend, Saheli. Yeah, girlfriend. But that is not Harinama. So you have to pick up the phone and say Hari Om, like Chinmaya Mission people. Hari Om. So Ekam Mantram Tasya Devasya Nama Ekam Karma Tasya Devasya Seva. So there is Shastram. People who follow that deliberately, who want to take the authority of the Vedas and Shastras, those people are called Sat. So there the Saptami Bahochanam is Satsu. Like Ramaha Ramo Ramaha, Santo Santaha, Santam Santo Sataha, Sada Sadbhyam Sadbhi, Sate Sadbhyam Sadbhya, Sataha Sato Satam, Sati Satoho Satsu. Satsu means Sat Purusheshu, meaning Veda Shastra Anusarena Vartamaneshu. People who don't cross the Maryada, who follow the conduct laid out in Vedas and the Shastras. They consider Vishnu as Sadhu. That is why he is Satyaha. Why? Because a lot of people say that they have different take on this truth. Some say that it is void, it is Shunyam. Some people say that it is a mixture of Prakriti and Purusha. A lot of opinions are there. But for Satsu, for people who follow Shastra, Satyam, the truth is Vishnu. That is why Vishnu is called as Satyaha. Satsu Sadhutvat Satyaha. Sadhutvam means Shabda Sadhutvam, usage. They use Satyam or truth, Vishnu in the sense of Satyam. Vishnu in the sense of Satyam. That is why they say Satyam Param Dhimahi. We meditate on Satyam. That is why Vishnu is called as Satyaha. Satya is synonymous with Vishnu. Satyam means that which does not change in the three modes of time. And that Satya is Vishnu. That is why he is called as Satyanarayana. So Sattvavan Satvikaha Satyaha. What is Satyam? He clarifies. Yatartha Buddha Artha Kathanam. Speaking what is actually variable as a fact. Yadartha Buddha Artham. Yadartha means reality. Artha means object. An object that is real. If you talk about it, that is called Satyam. So when you employ your mind, your speech, your faculties, and when you explain something, if it is about an object that is real, that is called Satyabhuta Artha Kathanam. That Satyabhuto you Arthaha, that object, which is Satyam. In that, he is Tatparaha. Who is Tatparaha? Vishnu is Tatparaha. Vishnu is interested. That is why he is called as Satyaparayanaha. What is Vishnu's next name? Satyadharmaparayanaha. He is Satyaparayanaha. Parayanaha means, the word Parayanam has got two meanings. One meaning is Asrayam. Parayanam means what? Asrayam. Kimvapyekam Parayanam. What is your one Asrayam? What is your one support? Vishnu. Another meaning of Parayanam is Tatparyam, or intent. So Vishnu is Satyaparayanaha. Vishnu's intention is always truth. How much truth you have? How much truth? How much Yadartha Bodha Artha Kathanam you have? That is what he is interested. That is why Vishnu is called as Satyaparayanaha. He is not only Satyaparayanaha, Dharmaparayanaha. Satyam is only, you can only be Satyam. Truth you can only be. Dharmam you can do, perform. So in being, that is called Satyam. In doing, it is called as Dharma. So Satya means Yathartha Bodha Artha Kathanam. Then Dharmecha. What is Dharmam? Chodana Lakshanam, which is being instructed by the Vedas. Chodana means Prachodanam, means Prerakam. What is the Prerana? The Vedic statements. That is called Dharma. That is why any random act of good is not Dharma. Because somebody told giving money to Salvation Army is good. If you do like that, that is not supposed to be Dharma. If you do it with the intent of pleasing Vishnu, then it becomes Dharma. So you have to have some awareness when you do. That means then you will not be worried about overheads. You will not be worried about your comfort. That kind of tyaga is what? You are making sure that you are very comfortable giving. That is not dharma. So in Shastra there is a way. Dharma is somebody who does a good act pratyupakara ichham vina, without an intent of getting something back. That is called dharma. What is dharma? I will give you this. You come and scratch my back. That is not dharma. That is why if you consult the Veda, it will tell you how to perform dharma. The procedure is all well laid out. That is why they say dhanam is satvikam, rajasikam and tamasam. If you do some tyaga, I don't like bengan, bhuguna in Sanskrit. It has so many seeds inside. And sometimes it's black, white. I don't like it. I also get a scratch if I eat it. So I leave it in Kashi. Or you can leave your wife. So that is not called tyaga. So in the Shastram it should say, Deshe, Kalecha, Patrecha, in the correct time, the correct place, there is a prescribed method of doing tyaga. That is dharma. That is why Chodana Lakshanaha Dharmaha. Dharma is already very well laid out in the Vedas.
So that definition you gave, that there is no expectation for that definition you also gave for suhrid, for friend, like a suhrid.
Suhrid, yeah.
Right? That same definition. Someone who does it without.
There is in Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yes.
it is for Krishna. Vidunodi suhrid satam. Hridyantasthanyabhadrani. There Sridhara writes, who is a suhrit? A person with good heart, good thought, deliberate. He does goodness with a deliberation, without expecting anything in return. He does that. There Sridhara writes, because suhrit is a person with a dharmic hridaya, where su he takes it as dharma. Sridhara takes it as dharma. That's what it is. So, dharma is Chodana Lakshanaha. Procedures laid out very well, thought about and laid out in the Vedas. And that is where Vishnu's Tatparyam is. Parayanaha means Tatparaha. That is his intent. So his intent is always moving towards two things, Satyam and Dharma. So what is Vishnu's thinking? How does Vishnu think? This is how he thinks. Always be truthful and do dharma. Satya dharma parayanaha. Iti satya dharma parayanaha. The next one is abhiprayaha. Abhiprayam generally means opinion. Yeah. What does Shankara write? Abhiprayate purushartha akankshibhihi. When you are after purusharthas, when you are akanksha means your desire. When your desires are after purusharthas, what is purushartha? Dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Artha and kama, that is for everybody. Artha and kama is for everybody. Kama is what? A natural instinct. What is kama? A natural instinct. Everybody buys a color TV. You also want to buy it. Natural instinct. Something which happens by peer pressure. This is for human beings and all beings. And that kama is insatiable. You can never come to an end. So it starts with a small desire and becomes an obsession. So how do you roll back? What is the way of rolling back from kama? By doing nitya karma. When you do nitya karma, then you get a break, you give a break, because the nitya karma is laid out in the Shastra. So when you do Shastric activity, you have to swim against your kama. The kama will say, don't do it. Don't do this Parayanam. Don't do this Nitya Karma. Even your Laukika Nitya Karma, like going to office, the Kama will say no. If you have to get to work at 7 o'clock, 5 more minutes. That is Kama. What will Kama say? 5 more minutes. Nothing will happen. Then you have to slide your schedule. Say I will come at 8 o'clock instead of 7. You have to work late because of this 5 minutes of Kama. So Kama is that natural instinct which will take you to domination. Najadu kama kamanam upabhogena shamyati. By taking more and more kama, na shamyati. It's not going to end. Havisha Krishna Vartmeva. Krishna Vartma means Agni. Havish means clarified butter, ghee. If you pour ghee in fire, what will happen? It will come more and more. Bhuya eva abhivardhate. It keeps on increasing. So Kama is like that. So in order to fight Kama, this is the Shastra's therapy. What is the therapy? Nitya Karma. Aharaha Sandhyam Upasita. Every day, watch the Sandhya. Watch the gap in between the two thoughts. Look at it. The Purva is Mata. The Uttara is Pita. In between you are there. That emptiness is you. Mata Purva Rupam. Pitottara Rupam. Praja Sandhi. Prajananagum Sandhanam. Ityadhi Prajam. There is one Upasana. So the Vedas are several of these Upasanas prescribed as Nitya Karma. Why this Nitya Karma? Why this Upasana? To take your mind off Kama. If you don't take your mind off Kama, what will happen? You will become like that fire. Huge fire. It will keep on increasing. You start with one chocolate and there will be 100 wrapped around you. So that is one Purushartha. So in order to counter that, you have Dharma. In order to counter Kama, you have got Dharma. Same thing with Artha also. Artha is another thing. Kama means you can only have 10 chocolates because you have diabetes. So what do? You just rack it up in your shelf. That is Artha. Artha is accumulation, security. It's your fidelity account. So you are always thinking about it, very careful, very methodical. That also is going to be a problem because it makes you insecure. More and more thinking of the security makes you insecure. Nitya Karma and Naimitya Karma, they will take care of this problem. Otherwise, you will become like any natural animal with natural instincts. And Dharma, Artha and Kama. Dharma is like a solution. It is like a patchwork you are doing so that you can enjoy more Kama tomorrow. That is the whole idea. It's like a workout. What is Dharma? It's like a workout. Little bit you write off so that you can get little more power. That's what they say about the Rudram. If you chant Rudra, you can get moksha. But you also can get Shreyas. You can get what you want. He will give everything. So instead of getting moksha, they compromise and get Artha and Kama. So that is called Abhipraya. What is Abhipraya? The content of your Akanksha. The content of your Dharma, Artha and Kama. That is Abhipraya. That is Vishnu. Who is the content of that? That is why he is called as Abhiprayate. Everybody intends him only. But he comes out distortedly. Because without learning Vishnu Sahasranama, you form an opinion about Vishnu yourself. Your own Abhipraya comes out. But actually your Abhipraya should be whom? It should be Vishnu. So Vishnu is really Abhipraya. Abhipraya is Ruda on him. You don't take it. But that's what generally you do. How do you do? Purushartha Akankshabhihi. With a list of these Akanksha's. That is one meaning. Another meaning of Abhipraya is Abhi means Abhimukham. There are two words, Abhipraya, Abhi and Praya. Abhi means Abhimukham. Abhimukham means looking. When Prayaha means Preyaha. Preyaha means Pretaha. At the time of dissolution. Jagat. So, Prayaha means when you are leaving, when there is this dissolution of the entire world, entire Jagat is going to dissolve one day. There is one day there is going to be destruction. So, where does it go? It goes in Vishnu. That is the second meaning of Abhipraya. Esmimsya pralayam yanti punareva yugakshaye. That is what Abhipraya means. That's what Shankara writes, second meaning. So the first one, Abhipraya, means the intent of Purushartha. The second meaning is during Pralaya, during divulge, during deluge, during the end, everybody, the entire Jagat goes into Abhiprayaha, Abhipreti. That is why you are called Preta. After you are gone, what are you called? Preta. They won't call you by name. You'll say this, that. So that is why he is called Abhipraya. Because where does the Preta go? Pretya kata kutra gacchati. It goes into Vishnu. That is why he is Abhiprayaha. That is the second meaning. Next is Priyarha. Arha. Arha and Priya. What is Arha? Deserve. What is Priyam? What is Priyam? Ishtam. What is likable? What is pleasant? Priyani, Ishtani, Arhati. Idi Priyarha. So when a guest comes to your house, what do you offer him? The best, whatever you like. So similarly, because they deserve it, because the guest, they deserve the best. You have invited them. So Vishnu is the actual Priyarha. He deserves the best. Whatever you like the best, that's why always you offer him first. Anything even if you buy a shirt, you put a little bit of turmeric. If it is white, you put it underneath, under the collar. Why? It's kind of, it's an offering. You're offering it to Ishvara.
Yeah. For when you're making a every new shirt.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah.
In fact, in ready-made stores, they'll have a sign: no return if turmeric or kumkum. There'll be a sign.
Oh.
So why? Because he is Priyarha. He deserves the best dress or whatever you want to offer. Whatever is your ishtam. You don't know what he likes, Pidambaram or Nilambaram. But whatever you think is best, that's your Priyam. And he is Arhaha. He already deserves. Being the Lord of the universe, he is called Priyarha. Priyani, Ishtani, Arhati. Arhati means deserve.
Arhati is deserved.
No, Arpayidum Yogyaha. Sanskrit. No, I will tell you. I am just telling a little bit of English. The word Arhati means Arpayitum Yogyaha. One who is fit to be offered. That's what you do to the guest. If there are two chairs, one is wobbly, you will sit in the wobbly chair and give the good chair to the guest. You don't want him to fall. You don't know whether he has insurance or not. So, that is what Arpayitum Yogyam. Whatever is, Arpanam means what? Offering. Yogyam means fit to be. That is called Arha. Arha means that which is fit to be offered. And that is always Priya. You don't give a Apriyam vastu to somebody. We have too many Tulasis in the house. You don't give it like that. You do it sometime probably. But you don't do it to Vishnu at least. No, they say that in the house. It's too much, why don't you eat? So, for Vishnu is Priyarha. What is best? What is Arpayitam Yogyam? That is given to Vishnu. That is why he is called as Priyarha. So, Abhipraya means Purushartha Nishchaya, right? You are pursuing of your Dharmartha Kamas. That you offer to him because he is Priyarha. Then you can, that way you can put a break to your kama. It will not be like, oh, I have to offer this chocolate and eat. Why can't I wait? Today is Ekadashi. Those thoughts will start coming when you start observing this Priyarhatvam. That you have to offer everything to him and take. When you have that kind of mindset, that will put a break to your kama. Kama is your instinctual thinking. Aharam, Nidra, Bhayam and Maithunam. This is instinct. Why Bhayam? Because you think that somebody will take that chocolate away. There's a reason for bhayam. All these phobias, it all starts with kama. So he is priyarhaha. He is the only one who is arhaha, yogyaha. He is the one who is yogya. That is why during marriages, they will say this, Mahavishnu Swarupaya Varaya. I know this guy is not qualified, but I will invoke Mahavishnu in him. I will invoke Mahavishnu for a few minutes. Let me think, close my hands, this is Mahavishnu, and then give. Because only Mahavishnu is priyarhaha, he is yogyaha.
Arha, does that also mean to tell? Like arhasi, it comes in the Bhagavatam also, Sutta, arhasi, that you tell.
You need to, you deserve to tell.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arpayidam yogyata means one who deserves the offering, right? The word deserve comes in there, in that yogyatvam. Yeah. Tvam vaktum yogyo bhavati. You indeed are, I am fit, and you are also fit to tell, so why don't you? In that sense. Okay, arha. Okay, arpayidam yogyaha arha. The next word is arhaha. Now, why is Vishnu pujarhaha? Shankara quotes Vishnu Dharma Uttara Puranam. Because Shankara is Purana Alayam, so everything comes from his mind. So he says, Yadyadishtatamam loke echasya deidam grihe tattad gunavate deyam tadeva akshayam ichhata. If you want akshayam, akshayam means diminished, one who is perishable. Akshayam means what? Perishable. Akshayam means imperishable. At least there will be one kadipata inside. That patram, what will be there? There is one kadipata. There is Akshaya patram. Yeah, that Hare Krishna's food pantry in India. They call it Akshaya. So that if you want Akshayam phalam, if you want Akshayam result for all your actions, then you have to give it to Gunavan Mahavishnu. That's what he said. Yadyad ishtatamam loge. Ishta means priyam, what is dear to you. Ishtatamam means the dearest. Whatever is dearest to you, tattat gunavate deyam. Give it to the Gunavan. Who is the Gunavan? It came earlier. What was the word? Sattvavan, Sattvikaha. Sattva means Gunam. Sattvavan means Gunavan. So who is Gunavan? Vishnu. So tattat gunavate deyam. Why akshayam ichhata? If you desire to attain akshayam, a imperishable state, that always your treasuries, your coffers should be full. If you wish that, give a little bit to Vishnu first. And because of that, he is priyarhaha, it is smaranat. The Smriti says that. Vishnu Dharmottara Puranam, the Smriti says that. Hence, Vishnu is priyarhaha. The next one is arhaha. We ask the word arhaha. It is the Vishnu Sahasranama itself says arhaha. The last word was priyarhaha. Here arhaha, arh pujayam. That is a root. What is the root? Arh pujayam. Worshipable. Deserving also means that, but this has a very religious connotation. Arhaha means it is only used for Mata, Pita, Devam and Guru. Arha is used sometimes for husband. On Mother's Day. No. There is no husband's day, right? That Savitri Vratam, Varalakshmi Vratam, there are few days, Karwa Chauth, Kadwa, it is very, yeah, Kadwa Chauth. So, Arhaha means Pujayam. He says that, Swagata, how do you do puja? First you welcome, Avahanam, Asana, be seated. And then Prashamsa, Asana, Prashamsa, Dhyana, that Stuti, Stotram. Arghya, Arghya means washing of the hand, pouring water in the hand, that's called Arghyam. Padya, washing the feet. Stuti, Stotram, Namaskara, Yanika, Nija, Papani, that. Adibihi, all these upacharas. This is called arha. Puja sadhanaihi pujaniyaha iti arhaha. So, very detailed it is laid out what is arhatvam means. Doing all this is called as arha. So, there is panchopachara puja. You do a part of it. Then there is shodasopachara puja. Then there is shashti. Chadushashti. Chadushashti upacharadhya. So, you 64 upacharas. You give betel leaf, tambulam, and then you give another achavaniyam. Very detailed. That is called as arhaha. Swagata asana prashamsa. Argya, padya, stuti, namaskara, adibihi, puja, sadhanehi. By the tools of this worship. Puja sadhana means tools of worship. Pujaniyaha. That is the meaning of arhaha. So arhaha means pujaniyaha. In puja arhaha he said, arpayidum yogyaha. One who is fit to be offered. Here one who is fit to be worshipped. There is a subtle difference. न केवलं प्रियार्हः किन्तु प्रियकृत्. So, arhaha, priyakrit. The next one is priyakrit. So, puja arhaha means one who is fit to be offered worship. Ishtam, what is dear to you. Why? Because he is priyakrit. He always does what is priyam, ishtam for you. To whom stutyadibihi bhajatam. For people who worship him, he provides them with what is their priyam. He will see what is dear to you. Whatever is dear to you, he will offer. He will give it to you. That's what he is going to say. Bhishma will say in the end. What will he say? Vedandago brahmana syat, kshatriyo vijayi bhavet, dhana samruddha syat, sukhamavapnuyat. You will get all that. Whatever is priyam to you. Stutyadivir bhajadam priyam karoti iti priyakrit. Very straightforward. That is priyakrit. So arhaha priyakrit. Priyakrit priti vardhanaha. So first Priyakrit means a car is priyam for you, so he gets it. Then Priti Vardhanaha, he makes you sit and make you drive. He facilitates. He increases the pleasure. That is why he is called as Priti Vardhanaha. Teshameva Pritim. Priti means what is ishtam for you. Priti means what is ishtam. Tad Vardhayati. Not only he gives, he increases that as well. Hence he is called as Priti Vardhanaha. Teshameva bhaktanam pritim vardayati. Prathamam pritim karoti priti krite. Tataha pritim vardayati priti vardhanaha. First he gives it and then he increases it. It is like when you are getting married, in the beginning they will give you a lot of things. Do you want an umbrella or a chapel? Then after 1 week, there is no vardhana. But Vishnu is not like that. Sometimes they take it back. You find that umbrella disappears.
If you are not careful, it disappears.
Umbrella, walking stick.
So generally people are Priyakrit, but Vishnu is Priyakrit and Priti Vardhanaha. The next one is Vihaya Sagatihi. Vihayas means Akasham. What is the meaning of Vihayas? Akasham. Gati means that which moves. So what moves in Vihayam? An aeroplane. All the birds. So here it is Garuda. Who is Vihayasagati? Yeah. He moves in Vihayasaga. He is a Vihayasagati. He moves in Garuda. That's what Shankara writes. Or Vihayasaha means the birds. Where do the birds fly? In Akasham. That Akasham is Vishnu. Vihayasaha Vihayaha Pakshinaha. Tasya Gatihi. Gatihi means Asrayaha, the locus. The locus for all the birds is Akasham. Akasha means Vishnu Padam. Vyad Vishnu Padam Vachyam. That is Amarakosha, dictionary. Vishnu Padam means Akasham. Another name for Akasham is Vishnu Padam. Why? Vishnu put his feet there. First feet he puts here. The second feet he puts on Akasham. So Akasham is called Vishnu Padam. Third feet he puts on Bali's head. So Akasham is also called Vishnu Padam. So Vihayas means Akasham or Vishnu Padam. Tatra Gatihi. That is the Asrayam for all the things that move in sky. Or Vihayasa Gatihi means Adityaha. Aditya is also Vishnu. Adityanam aham Vishnuhu. He is also Aditya. The sun, he moves in what? In the sky. Sun is Vihayasa Gati. Sun is somebody who moves in, whose Gati is in Vihayas, in the sky. So he writes Adityova. That's also meaning of Vihayasa Gatihi. Lot of names in Vishnu Sahasranamam are also the names of other deities. There are names of Skanda, Rudra, Aditya, Brahma. Why? Because everything is one Parameswara. That's the idea. This Vishnupadam is, why Vishnupadam is, Agasham is Vishnupadam. He quotes the Vishnu Puranam. Urdhottara Rishibhyastu Dhruvoyatra Vyavastitaha. You see the pole star, Dhruva. Erad Vishnupadam Divyam Tritiyam Vyomni Bhaswaram. That is called Vishnupadam. The Vishnupada says so. Vishnu Purana says so. Hence Vishnupadam is called as, Agasham is called as Vishnupadam. So he is also giving an authority. Vihayasa Gatihi Jyotihi. Jyotihi means one who does not require another light to light him up. What is the meaning of Jyotihi? Swayameva prakashate. Swayameva prakashate. Swatayeva dyotyate iti Jyotihi. Anything in this world needs an illuminating factor. If you don't have illumination, you cannot see. If you want to see an object, you need light. That light is called as Jyotihi. Light is called as Jyotihi. And Vishnu is also Jyotihi. Why? Because he does not require another light to light him up. He is like that radium.
Self-effulgence.
Self-effulgent, like radium. Always it is illumined. Swateva Jyotyate Swayam Prakashakaha. It is Jyotihi. How do you know this? If you ask Shankara, he quotes the Yajurveda, Yajnavalkya Upanishad, Mahanarayana Upanishad. Narayana Param Jyotiratma Narayana Paraha. Narayana Param Jyotihi. Narayana is the light of lights. If the moon borrows the light from sun, the sun borrows light from Ishvara. Yadaditya Gadam Tejo Jagadbhasayate Khilam Yachandramasi Yachagnu Tat Tejo Vidhimamakam. Gita. Whatever light, the stars, the moon, the sun, the fire, they all are shining. That is all borrowed from me. Tat Tejaha, Tat Jyoti Vidhimamakam. That is my Jyoti. Hence Vishnu is called as Jyotihi. That is the end. Beyond him there is no other Jyoti. But for all this Jyoti, there will be some other person illuminating it. But for Vishnu is Jyotisham Jyotihi. That's why he said, he quoted the Yajurveda, Narayana Param Jyotihi. Param Jyoti, the ultimate illumining factor. Iti Mantravarnat Jyotihi Suruchihi.
Is that not the definition also of Deva though?
Deva.
Swayam.
Swayam Prakashakaha. Yeah.
Prakashaka.
Yes.
So how is that different then?
It's the same. It's two words, two mantras. Devaha is one mantra. Jyoti is another mantra. Two different words. They are not different.
Jyoti is Vishnu, but
Hmm.
Deva is not. I mean, it is a vibhuti of Vishnu, right?
Vishnu himself is a Deva. Divyati Devaha. One who is self-illumined. One who is illumining by himself. Bhagavado Adidevasya Narayanasya. That's what they say. Adi Vishnu or Adidevasya. He is the Adideva. Who is the Adideva? Mahavishnu. The word Deva also means that. Same. So the next one is Ruchihi. The word Ruchi has two meanings. Ruchi means taste. Ruchi also means Prakasham. Ruchi means light. So Suruchihi means Jyoti means light. That light can be very dull. Light can be very dull. That is why he wants to clarify. He is Jyoti, he is also Suruchi. He is a bright light. Shobhana Ruchihi Deeptihi. So it's a very brilliant light. That is the meaning of Suruchihi. Another meaning of Ruchi is Ichha. Ruchi means taste. Taste means what? I have taste in Carnatic music. So you cannot go and lick it. Taste means what? A desire. Because generally Ruchi means, taste means for food. But it also means desire. So Shankara is using in that sense. Because already you know the meaning of Ruchi. So he doesn't want to talk about it. One meaning is Prakasham. One meaning is Ichha. That's why when you see something you like, you light up, you become Jyoti. So there is Android, iPhone. Then when you say iPhone, suddenly Ruchi, you get that Ruchi. The Jyoti comes up. Because Ichha is like a Jyoti. So, but Vishnu's Ruchi is not like our Ruchi. He is Suruchihi. It is Shobhanam. It's not something which is despicable. It is Su. It is Shobhanam. Shobhanam means very Kalyanatamam. Auspicious. Shobhanam means auspicious. So whose Ruchi, whose taste is very auspicious. So he won't go after rock and roll. It's always Bharatanatyam. It's Suruchi. Ichha asyeti Suruchihi. Then Huta Bhuk. Huta Bhuk. Bhuk means one who eats. You say it every day, no? No, you say bhak. You don't say book. When do you say bhak? Not that music. Dukkha bhag bhavet. At the end of the class. What do you say? It will end, the class will end. That's why I'm not saying. Dukkha bhag bhavet. That is the last word we say before getting up. So here it is bhuk. What book? Huta, bhuk. Huta means that which is offered in the Havan Kundam. That which is Homadravyam. Huta means what? Homadravyam. That bhuk. Vishnu is the Devata. For Yaga, Vishnu is the Yajna Devata. That is why he is Huta bhuk. All the Mimamsakas, for him, he is the Ashtavya Devata. Who? Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Why? Yajno vai Vishnu. That is why Vishnu is Huta bhuk. He is the receiver of fire sacrificial offerings. Hence he is called Huta bhuk. Let us see what Shankara says now. Samasta Devata Uddeshena Pravritteshu Karmasu Hutam Bhumte Iti Huta bhuk. So all the karmas are done with Devatas in mind. Ganapati Homam with Ganapati in mind. But these Devatas, they all offer their offering to Paramatma. Why? Because he is Priyarhaha. He is the one who is fit to be offered. So just like you put your turmeric, Ganeshji also puts to Paramatma, he gives and then he takes. Or he himself is the Paramatma, he takes it as Paramatma. Hence he is Huta bhuk. So though you do all these karmas for different devatas, it is all received by Vishnu. Akashat patitam toyam yathagachadi sagaram Every drop goes to Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Kaveri, Sadguru. Then finally it goes to the ocean. It has to go to Vishnu. You can name it different things, but it has to end up in Parameshwaraha. That is why he is called as Hutabhuk. Catching your attention. So sarvasu karmasu hutam bhumte iti hudabuk. So that is the meaning of hutam. Devadeshena pravrittam dravyam. Devata uddesham. Uddesham means what? Intent. Intended for one devata, you place one substance. You give up one substance. Idam namama. This is not mine. That is called devadodeshena dravya tyagaha. So when you give up, somebody has to eat. I cooked noodles. You don't like it. What can I do? You have to eat it. So when you do some hutam, it is always when you cook up something, when you offer something, always the offering has uddeshyam. What is uddeshyam? An intent. It is made for somebody. And that somebody is Mahavishnu. He is Hudabuk. In other words, the final enjoyment stays with Paramatma. Then, Vibhuhu. How is this possible? Somebody is doing a yaga in Kanchipuram. Another one is doing in Kashi. How can he go and eat in Kashi and Kanchipuram at the same time? They are doing a worldwide Gayatri Yajna. Somebody is doing in Solan. Somebody is doing in Madras. So many yajnas are happening at the same time. They have a yajnathon. What is it? Yajnathon. Somebody, it occurred to somebody. They had to do it. Why not? They take it upon themselves. They want to bring peace to the world. First you start. That's okay. So they do this. But how will Vishnu go and eat everywhere? For us, oh, this weekend is booked. I'll come next weekend. We can do that. Vishnu cannot do that. That is why the next time, Vibhuhu. His name is what? Vishnu's name is what? Vibhuhu. Visheshana bhuyate. He can be here and he can be there. That's the meaning of. That's what he says. Sarvatra vartamanatvad. He is in Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika. Everywhere Vishnu is, the consciousness is present. Trayanam lokanam vibhutvad. Because he is the Prabhu of all the three worlds. Hence he is called as Vibhuhu. Hence he can be a Hudabuk. I was trying to connect it together. Shankara doesn't.
Hudabuk came in that whole paragraph, right? Yajno, Yajno, Yajno.
No, Yajnaha means Hutam.
Hutam.
Yeah.
That-
Yajna means the act of offering. That also is Vishnu.
Yajnabuk.
Yeah. See, the truth is one. How many truths are there?
One.
Yeah, it's the same thing for you and Sadguru. Everybody has the same truth. So yajna is also, the thing is offered is also truth. The person who is offering is also truth. And he is offering it for the truth. Brahmarpanam Brahma. That's what that yajno yajna. Why? Because when you say that you are Yajamanaha, who are you? Yajamanaha means a person offering the yajna. Now you are saying you are Yajamana, right? But tomorrow you will be offered. In Kanyadanam, somebody thought that you are to be offered. They gave you away. So the person who offered you, he becomes Yajamana. And you became Yajnam. Right? Ishtam. You became what? Ishtam. In other words, your Yajamanatam becomes Baditam. Baditam means what? It becomes dismissed. For 45 minutes you are Yajamana and then you become something else. In the case of Vishnu, it's not that. He is Abadita. What is he? Abadita. That is why the best deal will be to you becoming Vishnu. If the wave becomes the ocean, then it is done. But the wave does not want to be. It always wants to claim the ocean and keep it like the dog. It wants to bury it and keep it. It cannot do it. That is the idea of Yajno, Yajnabadar, Yajwa. Yajnam is also Vishnu. Yajnapati is also Vishnu. Ishtam is also Vishnu. Because he is never abadhita. You can never dismiss him just like you can dismiss yourself. That's the reason why he is all that. Hence he is Vibhutvat Vibhuhu. The next one is Ravihi. Ravihi means Adityatma. Aditya means what? The fireball. The Tejo Mandala. The big fire disk you see, that is called Aditya. But that is throbbing because of life inside it. And that is called Adityatma. Wherever there is Atma, there is activity. How do you know that sun has activity? Because if you look, you can see it is shining, it dries your clothes, it does several actions. It enlivens the whole universe. And that activity is because of Atma, the presence of Atma inside that Aditya, in that Surya Mandala. That Atma of that Ravi Mandala, that is called Adityatma. That is why Vishnu is called as Ravihi. That is the meaning of Ravihi. He also says in the Gita, Jyotisham Raviram Shuman. Among all the brilliant things in the world, Jyotisham, Aham Ravihi. I am Amushuman Ravihi. I am sun. Ravihi Adityatma. The next one is Virochanaha. This Ravihi, Virochanaha, Suryaha, they are all names of sun. Ravi is also sun, Virochanaha is also sun, Suryaha is also sun. But Shankara has to give different meanings. So for Ravi he says Adityatma, the Aditya Mandala Andargata Purushaha, that is Ravi. And Virochanaha means Vividham Rochate, iti Virochanaha. Rochate means Prakashate. What is the meaning of Rochanam? Rochano, Rochamanas, Shobhanas, Shobhamana, Kalyana. If you attend marriages, you can hear this. Rochamana means this, the bride and bridegroom, they are like shining. Why? Shobhanas, Shobhamana, Kalyana. It's their marriage. So Rochanaha means shining. So Virochanaha means Visheshan Rochate. Why? There is Nakshatram, Graham, Tara, all these mandalas are there. Among them all, who is the most resplendent? It is the sun. That is why he is Virochanaha. Although Virochanam is different. Rochanaha means shine. Virochanaha means Visheshena Rochate. That's what Shankara writes. Vividham Rochate. He shines in many things. He shines himself. By himself he shines sun. He also shines in the stars. He shines in the moon. He shines in the Rashis. Everywhere he shines. Hence he is called as Virochanaha.
Surya Narayana comes anywhere in Vishnu Sahasranama?
Suryaha, the next one.
Surya Narayana doesn't.
No. Surya Narayana does not come. Suryaha, Ravir Virochanaha, Suryaha. Sute Sarvam, it is Suryaha. Sute means gives birth. What is the meaning of Suryaha? Sute, one who gives birth. Solar energy. What is Suryaha? One who Sute, one who gives birth. So Sute means to give birth, or Prerakaha. Sute means one who enjoins. Sute means one who enjoins. So if the sun doesn't come up, you are not enjoined in your duties. The birds start chirping. Everybody starts doing his duty once the sun comes up. That is the reason why sun is called as Suryaha, because prerayate, he inspires people to act. That is the second meaning. First meaning, he gives birth. The entire world is as though born. The whole world was dead. Before sun, it was all dead. When he comes up, the entire world becomes born. Sute, iti Suryaha. That is the meaning of Suryaha. So, Sarvam Sute iti Suryaha, first meaning. Sriyam Sute iti Suryaha. Sriyam means opulence, progress. You will not have progress if you don't have sun. So, Sute Sriyam iti va Suryaha. One who makes the world progress. The crops are, everything is growing because of the presence, mere presence of sun. He does not come and dry your cloth. By merely putting him in his presence, he does it. So, Sriyam Sute, one who increases your opulence, your fortune. The Rajasuya Suryaha is a Paniniya Sutra. He is talking about the etymology of the word Surya. It comes from that sutra. Rajasuya Suryaha is the Panini Sutra. Iti Paniniya Vachanat. Sarvasya Jagataha Prasavita Savita. Revir Virojana Suryaha Savita. Savita is another meaning of, another name of Suryaha. That's Saviturvarenyam, that's Savita. Savitur Shabda is for Surya. Why he is called Savita? Because he is Prasavita. He is the one who gives birth. Kasya Prasavita Sarvasya Jagataha, of the entire universe. How do you know he is the Prasavita of the entire world? Because of Vishnu Dharmottara. Rasanancha tatha danat revirityavidiyate prajanantu prasavanat savite tinigedyate. Because he gives rasa, he is called Ravi. Shankara gave the meaning that Ravi means one who is resplendent. Here he says Ravi means one who gives rasa, one who adds tastes. The mango will not be taste, it will remain kacha if the sun does not scorch it and make it yellow. So rasana pradada, he is the one who gives taste. Rasanancha tadadanat revirit rabidiyate. Surya is called as Ravi because he provides rasa. Prajanancha prasavanat, because he aids in prasava, in the increase of the population of prajas. He is called as Savita. That is the meaning of Savita. Iti Vishnu Dharmottare. The last one is Ravilochanaha. So Vishnu is called as Ravilochana. Vishnu has got two eyes. One eye is Surya. Chakshus Suryo Ajayata. The other eye is Chandra. Chandra Vanni Shashanka Nayanam. Shashanka is Chandra. So Vishnu is called what? Ravilochanaha. The eye of Vishnu is Surya. How does Vishnu look? Vishnu is Vishnurupa. The entire universe is Vishnu. And where is his eye? The sun. The sun is the eye of Vishnu. Hence Vishnu is called as Ravilochanaha. Ravihi Lochanam Chakshuhu Asyati Ravilochanaha. Agnir Murdha Chakshushi Chandra Suryau. Agnihi Murdha. His head is fire and his eyes are Chandra and Surya. It is Srute Mundaga Upanishad. It is Srute Vishnu's eye is Ravilochanaha. Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyit Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.